Làm hết câu chuyện đi chứ. Tôi làm video rồi cắt nhỏ nhỏ để cho mọi người coi cho dài khoảng tầm nửa tiếng, 45 phút, nửa tiếng thôi, không có nhiều, coi như thoải mái. Nói 9 giờ.
Whoa, this place is packed already.
Of course. No one's gonna miss out on the chance to welcome our hero. Kachina's gonna be so flustered. She's never had this many eyes on her before.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who likes being the center of it.
Looks like I'm just in time.
Kanich, you're here!
Yeah, a commission ran longer than expected, but I made it. I heard about the incident.
Yeah, it's all taken care of. Our new friend here's got some tricks up his sleeve, by the way. He's just as...
Hey, look! Is it about to start?
That's right. Someone will come out and recite a eulogy. Come on, let's find a spot with a good view. When the sing... Let's go somewhere higher up, so could...
Rồi, giờ thôi.
Warriors of Natland, we are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny. That is Natland's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
I could not find Kachina within the Night Kingdom.
What?
What is that even?
Usually once the ode is complete, the Pyro Archon and rest...
What's going on?
This has never happened before.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Clearly, the team sent to fight. Think about it. Since the Archon couldn't find...
Hey! You just haven't gotten over the fact that Kachina beat you in the pilgrimage!
Pathetic.
Your wild guesses are misplaced.
Maybe you did. But who's to say whether that little girl even contributed? Why would the YUB recognize someone like her, even if she was on the winning team?
How dare you insult a hero of Natland like that? Kachina sacrificed herself to repel the abyss. She doesn't deserve to be subjected to your...
Calm down, Mualani. There's no point arguing with the likes of...
I can't just sit here and let them slander her like that.
To insult a hero of Natland, the person actually has to be...
You...
Think about it, everyone. Who do you think is really or the great Pyro Archon? Why would the rules of our nation suddenly...
That's true. If she wasn't revived, maybe the YUB interpret victory.
I mean, that girl didn't look...
Kachina wouldn't have run! That's not like her at all!
No! She's been waiting for this moment for too long. No matter how daunting the situation, we don't even know what happened. So don't you dare try to use this.
Fine. We'll find out what happens soon enough. Then, we'll see.
That's enough. There is no doubt about today's victory, or Kachina's part in it. However, the failure of today's ceremony is undeniable. To prevent further casualties, I have decided to suspend the pilgrimage until this—
What?
No one is all-knowing. No one is but doubt is a means by which we— If there are things you wish to clarify, then ask me directly.
No, of course not.
Even though I have said nothing to change your mind, then it would—
That guy doesn't even have the courage to answer the Pyro Archon's question.
I have a question, Archon. My friend Kachina. I know you said you were investigating the situation.
I've already shared everything I know. If you want to learn the truth and rescue your friend, so—
Of course I'll join.
In that case, come see me in the speaker's chamber.
We should join them.
Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, could you drop by as well, Traveler? Rest assured, everyone, I'll keep the tribal chiefs informed on the progress of the investigation. Once again, I apologize for the outcome of this ceremony.
Did she just...
I believe she did. Let's go.
Okay.
The situation is urgent, so I'll get straight to the point. Kachina is undoubtedly a hero of Natlan, and I'm deeply sorry there's been unrest in the Night Kingdom, but I don't know what's causing it. As a result, until we find and address the cause of the unrest, the Ode of Resurrection will continue.
And that means Kachina won't be able to come—
That's correct. Not until the problem with the Night Kingdom is resolved.
How long will that take?
It's hard to say.
Kachina always dreamed of fighting the Abyss. She wasn't afraid of death because whenever we sat down together, exhausted from training, she would always hum the Ode of Resurrection. She was supposed to come back to us. We were supposed to hug her and celebrate with her and share her joy. We supported her every step of the way, but sit peacefully and wait for her return? Lose our—
That's not fair, Mulan.
It's all right. I understand your rage and your— Believe me, I want to bring her back as soon as possible. I would give you that, but please, hear what I have to say. Considering the recent attack on your tribe, I believe the Abyss has found—
You mean—
the Sacred Flame. The foundation of our resistance. If we continue to hold the pilgrimage and send teams to fight— But if we stop altogether, the Sacred Flame will only grow weaker. The Abyss will scale up their attacks, and the tragedy we saw with the people of the Springs will only be—
If we compare the two choices... Sorry, I know that may sound harsh, but I bear the name Malipo. Weighing the costs is my duty. The raw truth can be cruel. But we need to understand it if we want to approach—
But what would you say, Mualani? This is personal for you, and unlike Kinich, I dare say it's not a—
No. I can't choose between them, and I don't—
You're saying it doesn't—
Yes. What happened to Kachina breaks—
And that is the crux of the problem. Either way, there will be people who suffer. And the end result will be the same. Once doubt has crept in, the people will no longer unite in battle against— Their ultimate goal isn't to break the rules that make the Ode of Resurrection— To prevent what happened to Kachina from happening to anyone. Then, we have to find another way of strengthening the Sacred Flame to keep— I understand your anger, Mual.
Wow. Hyman thought things were gonna get heated first.
I owe you an apology, Archon.
We could always hold the pilgrimage without sending a team to fight in the Night Warden Wars.
I've considered that, but the two events have without the chance to fight the Abyss, pilgrimage rankings lose their prestige, and competitor numbers will drop. With fewer participants, the amount of contending fire produced will
So, essentially, the Abyss is taking Kachina hostage.
You've learned about the concept of ley lines during your travels, yes? Staying there for a short period of time shouldn't have an effect on the person. But with the Abyss in the picture, it's a different story. Your sense of self will be devoured, Imagine pouring a cup of water into a rushing river. You can try. I won't sugarcoat it. That is the danger, Kachina.
Just like you said, Archon. Both of these problems need to... You can focus all your efforts on dealing with the Sacred Flame.
The Abyss poses the same threat to you as it does to her. It is very possible you will not return.
Kachina's waiting for us to rescue her.
I failed to protect her during our campaign. But I...
Traveler? What do you think?
Understood. Then I'll support you in any way I... The Masters of the Nightwind have a technique that can extract an ancient name from the ley lines. If we can find Kachina's ancient name, I can use... Then comes the hard part. You need to visit the Night Kingdom in person.
But isn't the Night Kingdom
Under normal circumstances, only the consciousness can enter. But there is a way to go there in person. However, know that the Night Kingdom will attempt to repel you, and the Abyss certainly will.
That's fine by me.
Same here. Fighting the Abyss is nothing new for me.
So, Paimon's the only one who's...
Citlali of the Masters of the Nightwind once created an artifact that can be used to communicate with the Wyab. We call it the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Giờ tôi vô cho vương quốc dạ thần để đi cứu
It was
Kachina ra.
originally used as a ceremonial artifact wielded by the tribal chief.
That was the artifact I delivered to the Scions of the Canopy a few days ago.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
Your thanks are unnecessary. I will offer you whatever aid I can. Besides, your... Traveler, I certainly didn't expect our first conversation. I've heard all about your accomplishments. Ever since you arrived, I've been hoping to meet you and... Why? Is that not what happened in the other nations you visited?
Yeah, things were pretty complicated at the start. And, in the middle. But our reputation's solid nowadays.
That's more like it. After all, I've heard you're someone who perhaps even more than you can imagine. Ideally, this would be the perfect night for a drink and some musical ambiance. But there are important things to be done.
Oh, I almost forgot. Atea was wounded in the fight against the Abyss. It embodies fond memories and my strength.
I didn't think this day would come so soon. The flames of her life force. If things were different, the two of us could have enjoyed the hot springs. But don't worry. This towel is...
You said you didn't want to jeopardize the production of contending fire. But that's not at all why you decided to suspend the pilgrimage, is it?
You're right. Even now, the gradual corrosion caused by the Abyss has resulted, as things stand. The pilgrimage is a lost cause. Suspending the Abyss has brought catastrophe to Natlan.
We can't let the general public know that.
Nghĩa là nhà lữ hành không lấy được nguyên tố hỏa gì giờ thiếu nguyên tố hỏa ơi.
No. If the public learned that Natlan's destruction was close, but if I said nothing at all, they would have continued to question the integrity.
Another simple choice. The latter was clearly the better solution.
I have never subscribed to the belief that the right choice... Let's go. There's still a way for the sacred flame to last.
You mean?
Yes. The sacred flame must never go out. Not only does it strike fear in the Abyss, so until our heroes are ready.
But that can only last so long. I think we should focus on the remaining ancient name.
Don't let desperation cloud your judgment. Those chosen by the Wyab have already embarked on their destined path. It is for them to decide how that journey ends, not us. All we can do is support them.
Even so, for you to make this sacrifice, it's not right.
If not me, then who? No, I possess great strength, but I'm not above my people. This is part of my duty.
Archon, it's the Fatui!
The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with.
Được
The
cấp
secret of the ley
chương thứ nhất luôn.
lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
Chương thứ nhất trong con chấp hành được à? Chữ á.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us? Let our blades do the talking!
Đỉnh. Cái xì đỉnh quá. Đánh nát liệt. Trời. Mất tiêu rồi. Anh chạy rồi.
Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Capitano. That.
Are you alright, Archon?
He was a formidable opponent. Exactly what I would expect from the first of the Fatui Harbingers.
Thứ nhất trong pha tôi. Dữ lắm.
I never imagined someone could match you in combat. If the Tsaritsa sent him here, why would he bring up what happened?
Yeah. And how much does he know?
The Harbingers are all driven by their own personal goals. The only purpose that unites them is collecting the Gnosis. But I'm sure the captain has his own reasons.
Whatever his motive, we should shift our focus to the Fatui. If they attack again, and we're not—
No, we're running out of time. The wound I inflicted should hold him back and weaken him for the time being. Besides, I'm sure you noticed, the power that came to his rescue just now came—
In other words, there are traitors among us.
Not necessarily. This could prove— When we exchanged final blows, I sensed an unusual presence within him. Kanich, go to the Masters of the Night Wind and look into who could have aided the captain. Speak to Seat Lali. she should.
Of course, I'll head out right now.
Yes, but Natlan's strength has never rested solely in its Archon. Together we foresaw the only path that leads to our nation's future. We must trust in that vision now.
Đi ra do thiếu nguyên tố ở trong vùng đất này nên nhận thành mấy đang bị cạn kiệt á, như dầu mỏ khai thác bị cạn kiệt không?
Is everything okay, Archon?
Completely fine. Just lamenting the fact that I never got a picture when I could still turn my hair into I just hope the others have a safe journey.
What's happening at the stadium? Did something explode?
It feels like the Archon unleashed her power. She must be
Should we go back and check what's going on?
Have faith in the Archon. She wouldn't lose in a one-on-one confrontation.
Once we find Kachina's ancient name, we'll head right back.
Okay, let's just keep climbing.
Chờ chút để tôi đi toilet.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
Nói thì quan chấp hành thứ nhất cũng khá mạnh nhưng giống như là so với thần linh thì nó thường không ấy lắm chứ vậy. Chứ thần linh nó có sức mạnh thuần túy các thứ, ông chỉ có sức mạnh từ delusion thôi, mà sử dụng cái đó xong thì coi chiêu vé biết rồi, không lành đâu. Coi delusion chiêu vé xài xong rồi làm việc mấy ngày.
The tribe's people are very adventurous.
Oh, kinda like us then.
I'm not so sure. You don't strike me as the type to enjoy danger. The Scions of the Canopy are a bunch of thrill seekers. They love extreme sports like rock climbing, rappelling, volcano parkour, or even bungee jumping without a rope while a Yunkasaur stands at the edge and uses its tongue to catch them. Sound like something you'd be interested in?
Okay, that does sound different from our usual adventures. Paimon's not doing any of that. She can just cheer you on from the sidelines.
That's Wyna, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Right.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Wyna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
À, bà này vi sinh phong. Ok. Có người nói là vi sinh băng, giờ là thấy rõ cái vi sinh phong nè. Rồi tôi coi cái nick nào đó, ông đã phân tích cái trailer đầu tiên á, cái trailer mà chỉ có hoạt hình thôi đó, animation đó.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to...
Rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, the nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wyna. But if the...
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wyna? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete without taking risks.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay?
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's helped us out a lot.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I'll introduce you to her some. But let's get back to business. Wyna.
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river. But the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman, experienced enough to steer it.
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek.
Vichama? Why did...
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories of... Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff top.
Thank you. We'll go look for him there.
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
Rồi kiếm nè. À vâng. Sao?
Someone admiring the scenery. Hello there, are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something?
Trong trầm thực sự ra. Tôi muốn có cái giọng nói giống vậy. Nghe chậm chậm, nghe cho nó ngầu.
What? You're saying you can bring someone back? No. If you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of...
Are you okay? You don't look so...
Everything's fine. I'll help. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to...
Your friend? Oh, why not mention...
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your...
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name...
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an... Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing...
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented... I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for...
We'll go right away.
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them. So
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net?
by creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom.
Oh, I see.
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names, normally you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes. But I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere.
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want.
In case you're worried I might take the stone.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you.
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean much to me anymore. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so...
Rồi, chuẩn bị. Chắc còn dài
What
quá.
an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on the preparations for now. Hang on, Kachina.
Để tìm mua. Có cái tầng đầu, không biết đâu. Chắc ở trên cao. Nghi lắm. Kìa, thấy chưa? Ở trên kia. Không, cái ấy thôi. Phải để mấy con này nè. Bên kia. Để coi lên đây cái tầng đầu.
Emotional support is important.
Nghi là đang ở biết ngay. Rồi xong. Cảm ơn tiếp chở nha em trai. Tạm biệt em. Xuống dưới vậy. Đi chưa hồi đây chi trời. Tạm. Rồi đi ở đây. Đi xuống dưới. Ở dưới này. Con đường dưới này. Lắc léo thế. Đây, đường nhân.
Hello. Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole stock?
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see.
Deal.
Wait, really?
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. All right, that's everything.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Bichama mentioned.
Excuse me. Do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes.
Yeah.
I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though? We actually need two.
Ok.
That might be tough. Tell you what,
Thank you so much.
Ok. Tôi trở lại đây. Tôi mới lấy đồ. Quay lại. Tiếp tục.
Relax. Everything's going according to plan.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped...
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How does...
Perfect! Thank you.
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. Here you go. How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now. It's about...
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night. But I don't know all the details. Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama excelled at scouting and analyzing the battle. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage, and were... But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the pirate. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of... Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong, but because he wasn't able to do anything at all. I've tried convincing him to move. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. I wish... Anyway, that's the gist.
Ok. Thì ra câu chuyện năm xưa chẳng có gì. Đây, là để nhảy xuống dưới tiền. Có con kè đó. Phải nói xài chắc bên đây rồi gì chắc bên đây thì dễ hơn. Rồi chết luôn.
May I present?
Qua từ từ đó.
Dissipate. Huh?
Ra.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here.
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor. Go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some... If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a...
But that happened several years ago. The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom.
There might not be much hope. All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The abyss will likely emerge in response.
Rồi, đi. Không có bất ngờ lắm đâu.
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer.
Nè, một, hai, ba, bốn. Quá trời vậy.
Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone!
Spring forth!
Let the world collide!
Phiền quá. Bọn này không mạnh lắm, phiền.
I'll settle this. Our bond is strong.
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close.
Bản cuối. Rồi, xong.
Vichama!
Quick, take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the
abyss is corroding his body.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Mắng bay chết đi sống lại luôn.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the abyss is strong.
this power.
Hanging in there?
Malco. No, what?
We can't wait any longer. I already tried, but the power of the abyss has him in a chokehold.
In that case, we get back.
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to... You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might...
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge...
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you went poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska.
Okay.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in... Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malco's ancient name. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. And now...
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years.
Huh? What's that in your hand?
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco.
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words.
Too bad. No one will get to hear. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't have to mourn me. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Maybe you're right. Maybe no one... Vichama. I'm so glad you didn't... Don't be sad. Just... keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain?
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end.
Vichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend, but I also understood why you had to try. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going back.
Okay.
That's something I had to learn in hindsight.
Thank you,
what?
Vichama. I feel even more determined now. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep that promise.
That's good to hear.
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should...
Huh. That does make me feel better.
Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Wyna the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the spirits.
Kiểu như kiểu nó lỡ phá rồi giờ cũng có làm gì được đâu.
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wyna.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another. Huh. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska.
I'll be just a moment.
Rồi đi.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, she was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there. That strength of will pushed her to survive. but it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the Cuckoosaurs.
For some reason, Paimon can totally
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still...
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though.
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from...
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one...
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain your...
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses. We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can... But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a...
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop...
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not...
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't listen.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that. I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at it...
All right, whatever. Anything else?
You... What do you mean, anything else? What?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... you need to know something. What?
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you are.
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good...
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get...
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi!
So, you're really going to go?
Then support me. I'll be...
So, that's it.
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you...
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact... It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the spirits, according to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact.
If only Tone was here, he could have...
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Still, Seat Lale's going to be a nightmare to deal with. Now, stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay?
Ok rồi, đi đâu đây? Đây, từ đây. Rồi, giờ là lên. Bị nào? Cứ này, ok. Đường lằng ngoằng thế nhỉ? Dạ nè.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power?
That's why it has to be our little secret. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but still, all you need to do is focus.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a...
There's no need to be so modest, Yon-san. Your incredible strength has long...
Archon, I'm sorry about before.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our... Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all...
Whoa. I've never seen this place.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have...
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories. Now, I still have... If you're curious about an item,
Alright, we'll have a look. This is Atea's...
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea...
There are so many jars and potions around here.
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. Even though she appears stoic and serious, she actually has a keen sense of humor. The tools you see here are quite traditional. Her students found them outdated, so she passed them on to me.
Ok. Rồi,
The
quàng lại
contents of the
đẹp quá.
jars aren't all that special. Oh, except the big jar in the middle. That...
Ooh, must be something really cool. What?
Grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although probably expired by...
Còn gì nữa đây?
Make sure to handle everything with care.
Đầy lực, nhìn lạ đấy.
Whoa, that belt is bigger than Paimon's head.
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions. The association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. And even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time...
Sounds like it.
So the owner of the original belt, Kitera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical. He would often wear this version when training in order to protect his waist.
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time and show it off.
Mua lên đi.
This fishing basket.
This flower looks like it's thriving. You must be good at...
Câu.
Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the...
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant... In his eyes, I saw a hunger and...
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corrupted. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained... Can a fisherman claim victory? if he fails to break.
Well, Paimon thinks he won't.
That was my answer as well. In the end, he didn't want his tools.
Wait, that means you.
Maybe we can go head to head sometime.
Rồi sao? Giờ thì nói chuyện thôi.
The powder still needs some time to settle. So let's wait a little. Well, what do you think of my collection?
Yeah, if each item represents a different story, see, does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past...
At once?
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation. Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply...
That does kinda...
Humanity excels at living in the present. But too often while the Pilgrimage and the Night Warden Ward, only by uniting the people of Natlan across to come up with such a set of rules. The first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can... That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power, namely a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them...
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the... Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous art...
Your sister is so cute! Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an Ord. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you.
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry, Paimon's so...
No matter what others may say, my past is a precious... Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position... My father made the most delicious stew. So one time, we didn't close the door securely. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty...
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin.
Đi nè.
Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, ancient name, take us to your...
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyab is being affected. I was waiting for the Wyab to send me back, but then this really strong... The Wyab saved me. Even though its power is weak, the Night Kingdom has become a huge mess.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your all you need to do is stay safe and wait for us.
It's okay. I feel so much better. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. I'll find a way back. You don't have to.
You're always like this, Kachina. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do...
I'm... Still... I don't want you...
All you need to do is place your trust. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now. Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion.
I know. I'm prepared for that.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made.
No, I just feel bad.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people...
Thank you so much for your help.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.